I didn't even know you had a show, man.
Yeah.
I'm out of the loop. I'm living in San Diego.
Oh, really? Now, what's that like? You relaxing? Just
I'm
hanging?
digging it. I'm digging it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great place to be. It's
The
like
weather-
L.A. without the a-holes, right?
The weather rules.
Yeah.
But I'm in town for a week. You know, I got the Hall of Fame, and I'm promoting a new record. And
Yeah. Congrats on the Hall of
Thank
Fame,
you.
man. Pretty incredible stuff, huh?
yeah, a lot of drama though in the press. The last
Well, I
couple
know.
months.
I know. So you
Right.
guys aren't playing.
No.
You're not going to play.
Yeah. Originally, we were supposed to play. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame wanted the 4 original members.
Sure.
Who were being the only ones inducted. You know. Subsequently, after Peter left and I left, you know, there's been several members.
Yes.
And Paul and Gene originally, once they were asked that, they shut that down. Then they wanted to perform with the current lineup, and me and Peter shut that down. So
I mean, you should have. Come on.
Yeah.
I mean, who wants to see that anyway?
I'm not gonna sit there receiving an award and watch some guy performing my makeup.
That's what I mean. I
Right.
wouldn't want
absurd.
to. And look, as a fan, I don't want to see that either. I want to see you
Yeah.
guys. What is it like? Is it you're not on speaking terms with Paul or Gene at all, or is it?
You know, I spoke to him a couple months ago. They actually gave me a phone call.
And what's it like? Is it just a business thing?
It's a
or-
little superficial. You know, it's not. You know, there isn't the camaraderie that we had back in the '70s.
Sure.
Obviously, it's
Yeah.
been through a lot of ups and downs.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
if I rejoined the group for some crazy reason, I'd be the only guitarist in history to quit and rejoin 3 times.
Yeah.
Like Muhammad Ali.
Twice already.
You're Muhammad Ali as guitar player.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so let's talk about this. You started. What year officially did you guys start as a band?
I think it was 73.
73. And now,
74.
who comes up with the concept of the makeup? Like
We all did.
You all just thought, okay, this is going to be our gimmick, and talk about something working. I mean, it
Yeah.
didn't only work;
Yeah.
it hit big and stayed that way.
It didn't start out that way. I mean, the first night we wore makeup, my whole face was silver, Paul's was red.
Right.
I mean, we didn't have any idea. Then we just started experimenting. I mean, Paul's original makeup, he had like the dog in the Little Rascals. He had a circle around his eye.
That's right, I remember
I
that.
heard you said to make it a star.
Yeah, it was my suggestion. You know, he never gives me credit for it. But I said, Paul, why don't you wear 1 star? You know, I got the silver stars, and you know, Gene's the monster, and Peter's the kitty cat.
Right.
Wasn't
It worked.
some of that showmanship, though, some of that flamboyant stuff, like you brought even to the audition for that band, right? Like you were wearing 1 red shoe and 1 orange
But that was
shoe.
by
and-
accident.
Oh, really?
Some people might think it was on purpose. No, I was just rushing out to, you know, my mom drove me down to the audition.
Is that true?
In a big Cadillac. I had a 50-watt Marshall with 8 10-inch speakers. I choked a few beers before I
That's
went up there.
hilarious.
It was all right.
Where are you from, Ace?
You can't tell I'm from the Bronx.
I know. I'm saying.
The Bronx.
You're from the Bronx, so your
Yeah.
your mother drives you to the audition, which was where, Manhattan?
Yeah, big Cadillac. We had a big Cadillac. I threw the Marshall in the back of the trunk, and boom, she
Wow.
drove me down there.
And she waited for you while you auditioned and drove you back?
Come to think of it, yeah, she did. I think, yeah. I'm not sure if I told her to wait or I said split because I was probably going to bang some broad after the audition.
So now who was holding the auditions? Well, did you all audition?
Paul,
or-
Gene, and Peter.
Okay.
Those 3 guys had formed the group, and they were auditioning lead guitar players. They went through about 50 guys, and
Okay, so they needed a guy to play guitar. All right.
But they did ask me to leave my Marshall amp there, so other guitar players could use it because it was a great sounding amp. And
But they would. I mean, listen. You're a great player. You fit in probably perfectly, and you get the gig. And then what happens? What kind of a
the rest is
contract?
history. Come on, you know the story. Haven't you read the books?
What kind of contract do you sign at that point? You getting paid?
What kind of who?
Contract?
The first contract was a decent contract. Subsequently, they got bigger and bigger until 1982, when I quit the band. We had a $15 million contract.
Wow.
I walked out on it, and they ended up losing half of it. It went from
no
15 to 7.5, and they got real pissed.
I'm sure. Now, what about the songwriting, though? I mean, as far as do you have credit on a lot of those songs?
Yeah, and actually, some of the songs that I wrote early on, like Cold Gin,
Yeah.
they're going to revert back to me because there's a law now that if you after 40 years or something, you can get your songs back.
I hope.
Publishing, yeah.
Yeah, the publishing's huge, right?
Well, I never thought I was giving it up, but somehow, somewhere, I signed some document that somehow they got it. But, you know, I license them the makeup, and I still get paid on that.
What is it about the music business? Everybody, all these genius guys like yourself, they have these stories about signing something, and they lose it, but then hopefully you get it back. I mean, you're successful enough to where you get it back, but there's just a lot of evil people in that business, man. I mean,
Yeah, well, a lot of people ended up, broke and
right.
on Skid Row and on drugs and dead, and it almost did me. And luckily, I got sober 7.5 years ago.
Hey, good for you, man.
Knock on wood.
That's
God
good
bless.
to hear. I mean, it was. What was your worst drug of choice? Was it blow? Was it?
I did a lot of blow.
Yeah.
I like to drink, and of course, I like my tranquilizers and my pain pills, and I liked it all.
I mean, listen,
I was a drunkhead.
I'm a comedian. And I was the same thing.
You look just like John Belushi. I'm sure you've heard that.
Yeah, I have heard it. Yeah. But I went on the road doing stand-up, and I got involved with everything too. The road is hard, right? I mean, you say coke to come up, the tranks to come down, right? I mean, it's hard to do that.
I'm drinking during the day, and then right before a show, I snort a couple lines of good blow.
Yeah.
And I'm up for the show, and I go back, I party, and I wake up with a hangover. I got to take tranquilizers to mellow out. It's a vicious cycle.
In the heyday, was it almost too good? In the heyday, you guys,
I mean, we used to have a room called the Chicken Coop.
Yeah.
And during the course of the show, we'd point out girls in the audience, and our bodyguards would, tap them and say, "Hey, you're invited back to the hotel."
Right.
And, there'd be like 20 girls in this one room. And it was a hospitality suite. And, we go back to the hotel shower, blow dry our hair and walk into this room. And, we take whatever we wanted back to our room. I mean,
now, what were the girls like when they saw you without the makeup? Would it be like did you have to explain who you were?
I always held my own.
Yeah, did you have to say who you were?
Not literally.
Did they know
Yeah,
you?
some people
without
it's
the
hard to
makeup?
recognize guys. But,
Right.
Yeah. Well, after a while, some of the photos started leaking. I know originally we weren't allowed to be photographed without makeup.
that was part of the deal.
Little bit. Yeah. Well, Bill O'Coin, our manager, he was trying to keep the mystique.
Yeah, right.
And it worked for a while. And then eventually, got out here, got out there, and then I left the group, and then they had this guy Vinnie Vincent take over my spot. He had an ankh on his face, some Egyptian thing. I don't know.
Well, then Paul
Then they
decided
took
to
it
go
off.
away with
Yeah.
you do away with the makeup.
Yeah, that
which
was
a
okay. I
mistake,
was off
kinda.
doing Frehley's Comet, and I had my own career,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and I still do today.
Yeah.
what do you think about the Gene Simmons thing with the reality show and stuff like that? Do you think?
I think that would be a big invasion of privacy. I
Yeah.
could never do that. I've been offered a couple of reality
I was
shows,
gonna
and I
say,
turned them down.
You don't want to do it.
I mean, think about all the people who have had big reality shows. A lot of them, there's no mystique anymore.
Yeah,
everybody used to think Gene was like this demonic guy,
Right.
and he turns out to be, there's
Well, you're
Jewish
right.
guy at home, with a family, and
in the rock and roll era, you're right.
And he's a businessman.
Even Ozzy Osbourne. Ozzy was
Ozzy's
the prince.
great.
Was the Prince of Darkness, but then after that show, he's like the clown. He's a clown.
But Ozzy's still a character,
Yeah.
And he's still got it though.
Right. Well, he's got that charisma, that's for sure. But you're right about Gene. It takes away all rock and roll from him. That
Yeah,
show.
well, he's really Mr. Businessman.
That's true. That's
Everything is like it's about
kiss.
money and it's about how much and can I make a licensing deal?
Yeah.
And,
Now, do you still get a piece of all the merchandise?
yeah.
Oh, good. I mean, they got to get that because it's Kiss everything.
I wanted to ask you if
Let's take a break. You know what? Let's take a
Yeah,
break.
okay.
'Cause John is such a huge fan. We both are, but I want to let him
take a break.
ask a couple of things. We'll take a break. We'll be back. Ace Frehley, what's the name of the new record?
Space Invader.
Space Invader. It's a new record, and him and his bandmates going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's about time. We'll be back with Ace Frehley after this.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience.